How's it going, guys? It's Ricky here, bringing an exciting One Piece Banner Rush video, and today we have a lot of interesting updates. Well, most of all, we got news on future updates, which is exactly what I'm gonna be talking about in this video. So first of all, we have the 5.5-year anniversary thank you campaign 2. Now, it's not really anything special, but a big part of this campaign is actually a brand new banner that I want to showcase right here. And it's the usual 10 rainbow diamonds for 11 4-star characters banner that we get every single year around half anniversaries. Now, usually these banners would only consist of I can't speak, it's been a while since I made a video, but these banners would usually consist of step-up characters. Now here we have step-up characters, and we have Bounty Fest characters. Now Bounty Fests, they only go up to CPO, Rob Lucci, and Amaru and Nell, so that is a little bit unfortunate. However, it's still a very, very good banner, mostly because you have a lot of good support characters, and for beginners, this is a really good banner to get some new characters for collection purposes, and some of these are actually still usable, and we have one character that is going to become usable that I'm going to talk about in a second right now, because we have gotten, finally after such a long time, a brand new balancing adjustments for units. Now, it's a little shorter than usual, smaller than usual, because usually we would have like, I'm not sure, I never counted, but like 8 or 10 characters that are going to get fixed, and we had step-ups, we had legendary characters, we also started buffing extreme legendary characters. That was 2 patches ago. We started off with Shanks and Blackbeard, and then Big Mom in the next patch, so a lot of people predicted that they're going to fix Odin next, and we're going to be heading our way up with all these EX characters, but we actually got a big surprise today, because we're only getting 3 fixed characters, one of them being the one and only V1 Roger. Now, we have our Step Up, we have our Bounty Fest, and we have our Extreme Legendary characters. So, I'm not going to be going over all of their traits in this video. I might make a follow-up video a little more explaining how well they're going to be moving in a meta with this, but just a quick run through what we have. For Roger, they're going to adjust his normal attack so that he's going to be faster, the range is going to be much better, and Step 1 and Step 3 are going to take you a little further than they usually would, which is pretty nice, which means that you're going to have a little more range on your normal attacks, which is really nice. Then we have the skills. So after the changes, the Commissary is absolutely cracked. I mean, Roger was the only EX character that didn't have an invincible skill. If you guys aren't familiar with it, if you haven't noticed, pretty much every EX in the game that gets released has at least one invincible skill. Now, there were exceptions with Marineford Shanks and this Roger. Shanks had a counter skill, which is kind of similar to an invincible skill, because they can't really touch you. There is a small window in between where they can hurt you, but for most time you are still invincible during a counterattack, and he did get a fix. They didn't decide to fix anything regarding his invincibility, but for this Roger, it looks like Commissary is now going to be an invincible skill, which is actually really huge, because they're also adding a lot of insane stuff to it. So first of all is increased attack range, which means the Commissary is going to be even longer now, and from what I understand, it's also going to have increased speed, which Commissary is already kind of a difficult attack to perfect dodge if you can't predict it, and right now they're going to make that even faster and invincible in Roger, so that's pretty interesting. The skill is also going to ignore obstacles, and now it's going to do knockback, which I feel like is something that it should have done from the get-go, since that's how we've at least seen it do in the show, but it would have been insanely broken if Commissary had done knockback way back then. So right now, I guess it's a good time to add this. And then skill 2, the charge skill, they just knocked the cooldown off a bit and they increased the attack range, which is pretty insane since the attack itself has decent range. Now going through their traits, I'm not going to be talking about this too much, but he's pretty much nullifying most of status effects. His second skill now also resists knockback, which was the one thing that could actually stop it. So now, while he's charging, just don't hit him. And you should be fine, hopefully. Also now, he debuffs Shanks' hockey state, which gives him a huge advantage over Shanks. I mean, he was kind of considered one of the Shanks counters. Not really counters, so Shanks definitely had the advantage, but he was able to destroy Shanks if played properly, and now this is just going to make his job even easier. And now his Nullify Stagger, instead of being 10 seconds, it's going to be 20 seconds. His attack increases by 25%, and he also heals off of commissaries every single time now, which is really nice, and he gets more heals off of KOing enemies than he did before. Then we have the 7 Warlords of the Sea Jinbei. For this one, they decided to increase HP, attack, and defense, all of those things. Normal attack is very similar to Roger, giving them more range and mobility, basically. Then everything here, from skills to traits, he's been made to be a counter for the new awakened form Lucci, which is pretty exciting, honestly. I mean, they made his skill 1 have 4 hits now, which is kind of crazy because he used to have 2 hits, now it has 4 hits. Or actually, I'm not sure if he had 2, because it says step 1 to step 2 you did skill power 362. It's a little hard to explain this, but right now they're going to have him have, well, they're going to have him have more skill, not more skills, but more hits, which means that if someone like Boa, who has 3 hits invincibility, you're going to hit him with this skill, which now has 4 hits, the final hit is going to land. Now, this is also increased damage to power users by 200%, which is something that this Jinbei always had, but right now it's even more insane. And basically, to sum it up, he also increases the power of that skill. And from everything that I've been seeing from this Jinbei, I'm not going to go over the traits in perfect detail now. Again, I'll probably do that in a future video, but he looks like he's also made out to be a Boa counter, which is very interesting because Roger himself is also now a Lucci counter. He was already kind of a Lucci counter, but right now, even more so. And then we have the Paramount War Luffy, which they increased his normal attacks. They didn't fix his HP, defense, and attack, which I find is pretty interesting, probably because he is a step up, and maybe they're all of them are just kind of around that level or something, but I'm really not sure why they didn't do that. It doesn't really matter, maybe it was already decent, but he's also built out to be something like a free Boa counter, which, yeah, he's a character that everyone in the game gets, and if you notice, they added a Navy increased damage inflicted by 100%. Now, initially, I thought that this is going to hint at a new EX being Garp, because, I mean, buffing Roger, making him look insane all over again, just feels like a perfect time to release Garp again, EX Garp, so you can just counter all of these captains now. But this is actually really, really exciting, because it looks like the game, or at least the developers, are becoming aware of what kind of an issue Boa is. I mean, for a newer player, they're just trying to have fun, and then they get destroyed by Boas. I think it's nice that they're giving out a small counter to pretty much everyone, because, yeah, this Luffy, again, he's not a full-fledged Boa counter, but if you build him properly, judging from his traits, he should be pretty decent against Boa, at least in terms of taking a route and then being able to kind of snatch her flags. He's not going to be an insane counter, but it looks like they're giving a character to everyone just so that they have the ability to stand up to her a little bit. But for the majority, I think Roger and Jinbei are definitely going to be big counters. Jinbei seems like he's going to be a full-fledged counter, not only for Boa, but also for Lucci, which is pretty exciting. But then Roger is going to counter this Jinbei, because Roger is just absolutely insane. I mean, they've done the impossible with this Roger and actually brought him back to the meta. I'm really excited to see how things are going to go. Now, remember, guys, this has not been added to the game yet, because this update is going to come out on the 13th, which is going to be next week. So next week we'll be able to play Roger at full power again. I'm really excited. It looks like they absolutely buffed that Commissary skill, the traits as well. Jinbei, pretty exciting, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Not a lot that I have to talk about. I'll make a follow-up video for Rob Lucci, since I did say I was gonna make it and then I didn't, because I did want to kind of wait out to see how the meta is going to be moving. And right now it looks interesting because Roger is definitely going to be played a lot now, you guys. So definitely make sure that you get your Rogers up or your Roger counters out, because he's going to be annoying to deal with. Again, it's like, what was it? It was the 2nd anniversary. It's like 2nd anniversary all over again with an even more unstoppable Commissary. So I'm definitely kind of looking forward, kind of not, because it's going to be annoying to deal with. But yeah, excited. I'm going to make, of course, a video about this as well. I'm going to push out a Roger gameplay. I'm going to push out a Jinbei gameplay. And maybe I push out a Paramount War Luffy and Ace dual unit gameplay. I'm really not sure if this one... but yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. This also confirms that we are going to have a Roger rebanner very, very soon, potentially as bait before the new EX character releases. I think almost for certain that's gonna be the case, so that's pretty much it for this video, you guys. I'll make a follow-up video on this, then also a video on Lucci. I didn't get Lucci yet, so no gameplay video that I can push out. Hopefully I do get him so I can actually make a gameplay video, because I have all the things I need to frag him up, to give them medals and stuff like that. I have all of that prepared, so I would love to do a Lucci gameplay, because he's been getting a lot of different views, and I'm actually very excited to talk about the unit in a future video. But for now, not to stall anymore, this is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any more recommendations of what you would like to see, then let me know in the comments below. I will try my best to also provide some more gameplay videos, which I haven't done in a few months now. My last one was Kalgara and Noland. I'll definitely try to do this. But yeah, I think my first gameplay video is probably going to be either of Lucci or of these characters when they get fixed. So yeah, look forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.